Hey there, Starcraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of Starcraft Brood War Remastered and the Carbot edition. Top right-hand corner, we're going to have herO, the Zerg player, here on Fighting Spirit. You know him from many of the casts on my channel. He's an excellent Zerg player. And in the bottom right-hand corner, making his first appearance on the Falcon Paladin channel, it is sSak, going under Bye-Bye, an alternate name of his when playing Starcraft Brood War. Man, sSak is an excellent player. He's from Korea. He played Terran for SK Telecom T1 and made it to the round of 16 in the PDPop MSL back in, when the heck was this? PDPop MSL, I don't know, 2008 or so? 2009 or so. Really good against Terran. His TVT is probably his best matchup. And went 75% as a win rate in his matches against Terran players to win the 10th Sonic TV Star League. So, I mean, this dude, he beat Haya and last on his way to that total victory. So, dude is really good in TVT. Honestly, pretty fantastic in TVZ as well. I expect him to give herO much of what he can handle here today. I believe herO, honestly, would be favored here if we were taking bets, if Vegas was involved in this particular game. But it's not, because it's an old game right now. Do they actually take bets on esports? I've never thought about this before. Actually, yes. You know what? There are places that do it, because when I cast for Africa, I do some casts for Africa Worlds, which is StarCraft 2. Co-cast those with Laughing Games out on Africa TV. There are people who are there just to watch because they have bet on the games, and they want to know what the next map is. And if it's not a live event, the view count isn't as good because there's nothing live. There's nothing to bet on at that point, which I think is interesting. Anyway, this is Carbot. I do love the Carbot skin. It's very fun. I do hear you people that don't enjoy it very much. I'm sorry, but more people do at this point. Like, the numbers I get for people who enjoy watching the Carbot are 2 times or 3 times as many as people who hate it. So, I hear you. I know it's really polarizing, but what do you do at this stage? We're just going to do some Carbot. We're going to do some Brood War regular skin and remastered and call it a day. So, pool first here is going to be just fine against this early attempted Marine pressure here as the Marine kind of trundles back home, recognizing, yeah, that's not going to work. That pool's done as the SCV scouts. Our little puppylings are cruising on down to deal with any proxy bunkers or any craziness that might be attempted here by the Terran player sSak, but nah, it's not going to happen at all. The SCV is going to try to scout around and see if there's a quick lair coming up, or we're just going for metabolic boost, and honestly, nothing yet. As herO, wait, hang on. Yeah, he doesn't have an extractor yet. I was like, check that gas level. Oh, it's 0. Never mind. There's definitely not speed on the way. Ling's coming down for a bit of an aggressive play. You know what? Is that a wall? I don't know, man. This is only 3 Lings. He's going to go up the ramp anyway. There's a Marine back here. Oh, this is a wall. That does not look like a wall at all. These Lings feel like they should be able to come around this outside and get this Marine, but they can't. Strangely enough. So herO just harassing, getting shots off on these buildings, but otherwise, not much you can do with these Lings. But the early Lings are here for pressure. They're here to shut down proxy and aggression out of the Terran player. You can get your expansion up behind it anyways. This is SCV alive? Certainly is. Scouts a Ultralisk den coming in. And no quick flare at all. So definitely going to be some Hydra pressure. Definitely into lurkers. And securing a 3rd base pretty fast. I think herO went pool first to be a little bit aggressive. And it seems like he's going to go into more of a macro style play as the follow-up here. Hasn't made any additional Lings beyond the first 4 that he created here out of these larva eggs. Broop, Overlord pops on out. These are his eyes. I always think these are his eyes, because I think the same thing with a non-Carbot skin, but the eyes are down here. Overlords always look so nonplussed in StarCraft in general. So this SCV's got some pretty good scouting off, man. Saw the Ultralisk den, very well done. Saw the lair coming up, very well done. And just to deal with that, we're going to have tanks, man. Tanks are a great answer to lurkers. At least until those Defilers come out, and we'll see if herO rushes towards Dark Swarm or maybe goes for a quick 3rd base. We have seen Zerg players on 2 bases go for Dark Swarm really fast, fairly recently on the channel. I am not convinced as to how good that is, but it has worked. It has worked pretty fantastic. I believe Rhett did it in a previous cast of mine last week. And Rhett's really fun. I should cast more of that guy, but today it's going to be the Koreans rather than the foreigners. Some of the foreigner games that I cast, if you're skipping those because you're like, they're not Koreans. They're not the best players at this game. Go, give them a shot, man. Give Straylock a chance. Give Rhett and Idra a chance. These dudes are good at StarCraft, and they're very fun, and they do entertaining games that are not standard. honestly not standard at all. We have an In Control versus Goody game that I posted recently that is just wonderful in every aspect. So please check that out. All right. Wings cruising up. There's a tank set up here, though. So, tank tries to get in for the scout. That's not going to happen. If it was just a Marine, maybe he could, but the tank with that extra DPS, even not in siege mode, is not a problem. It is a Spire here next to the Ultralisk den. Is he even going for lurkers? Nah, man. This suddenly turned into a 2-base Muta play with a Ultralisk den. Which, again, slowed down the ability to get the Mutalisks out, but the Hydras are pretty good at defending against Vultures, so that's pretty good stuff. Creep colony here. Landing the natural base is sSak. And repairing up the Vulture, who does have a single kill. Siege mode done. Man, that is a fast siege mode completion there for sSak. I'm liking that a whole lot. Macro hatch pops up. See, hatchery, eyeball. Lair eyeball is angry. It's an angry eyeball. It gets more spiky and dangerous and edgy. Then again, I always have to point out the little Zergling in the spawning pool here. He's so cute. Just hanging out in the pool, which looks radioactive and probably would kill you or me, but Zerglings love that stuff. Delicious, delicious goop. So, bioplay here with tank support. Science facility already done in the first science vessel on the way from sSak. Man, he's killing it. He's doing really fantastic. In the meantime, we're going to have about 9 Mutalisks pop out at the 6.5, 7 minute mark. Smiley face on top of the Spire. And at what point do we start making missile turrets? Not now, but in a couple minutes, fairly soon, if we're honest with ourselves. That's a ComSat station, which is going to be okay. And that's a ComSat station, which is going to be okay. But he's got the engineering bay, and he needs to start making missile turrets right now, because the Mutas are just about ready to pop. There we go. Turret 1, Turret 2 coming up here. But that's 9 Mutas. I think we need 3. Probably need at least 3 at the natural base, at least 2 in the main. Turrets do not take that long to construct. Look how short this is. Only 200 HP they need to get built. Irradiate is not being researched quite yet. There's your third missile turret. 2 come up. Mutas come flying in. Bam, bam, bam. And yeah, I mean, you can snipe off some SCVs, but you're taking serious shots the whole time. And actually, that's not 9. He saved some gas, apparently, to go for a Queen's Nest and Lurker Aspect instead. So he's got 7 here, which are doing a pretty good job picking off SCVs. And not dying. I'm going to jinx it. Might lose one here soon. Jukes around away from the Marines. Very scary. And then just heads on home. So it does go ahead and take down... Where did my minimap go? It does take down a few of the SCVs here on the Terran's base. Not sure if he slowed down sSak enough to be too much of a problem, but... Anywho, third hatchery. Hydra's checking to see, is this a safe location? It sure is. We're going to turn you into lurkers as soon as we can. As soon as that lurker aspect is done. Metabolic boost on the way. He delayed that for quite some time, and he is going for a very quick hive. So yeah, we're going to see Dark Swarm and lurkers here sooner perhaps than sSak is preparing for it. So he still has the 7 Mutalisks, man. Some of them are extremely injured. Oh, Scourge here to deal with any science vessels that might venture out this direction, which they really shouldn't do if they want to stay alive, because again, Scourge are ready for him. So the third hatch coming up for herO pretty late, again, but he was able to get up to a hive pretty fast. So that's the sacrifices you got to make here in StarCraft. Either you can go super macro, or you can tech up really fast. You can't do both. You're going to spend those resources, and especially for Zerg, you're going to spend that larva and those drones on buildings, whereas they'd be mining otherwise, and helping your macro be incredible. So that's the trade-off. Third base coming up in 8 minutes, whereas other builds I've seen third bases around 3 or 4 minutes. Which is a major difference here, but it does allow you to get those defilers out sooner, and when you're dealing with a player as good as sSak is, you're going to want those defilers, man. So there's a small window here where I think we might be able to get something done with this bio. Got the medics in the mix. Ah, I do love the medics, how they heal up the Marines with hearts. With their love, they got heart tanks on their backs. That's how they work. It's just love. Love, sweet love. What's the line? Muta's trying to get those science vessels. No, nice control. No Scourge hits there. And, oh, nice irradiate. As one of the Mutas does go down. A couple more have joined the party recently. The irradiated Mutalisk is going to die. Might as well sack it in there and scout around and see where the Terran player is. But yeah, lurkers up here at the top of the ramp. I'm not sure how much bio you need to get up this ramp if you only have bio. It might be infinite numbers, with 2 lurkers here just absolutely crushing this little choke. But we're going to see. I kind of feel like sSak might try it. I mean, irradiating the lurkers and then getting up there would be diabolical. That's a Nidus Canal, right? Of course it is. Hive's done. Defiler Mound is here. And working on adrenal glands. They're pretty fast adrenal glands right now. So, alright. So, these overlords, kind of wrong place, wrong time. Irradiate on the lurkers would be fantastic. Do you have the energy for it? Sure do. Not that one. But the other one does. Oh, that one got irradiated. Oh, they both got irradiated. Okay, so they're both dead. And I think your time is now, honestly. Get up there. Get up that ramp. Their lurkers are dead. There are lurker eggs here. You can kill them. Come on, man. You're wasting all the time. Alright, well... yeah, that's a problem. Lurker eggs take a while to morph. Can they get through is the question here. Oh, and additional lurkers come in. I mean, so sure. You might be able to kill this lurker egg, maybe, but it'll take you some time, Marines. That's a lot of armor on those eggs. Irradiating that lurker, but not enough to irradiate for the other two. And he does manage to save it. Nice job with the Nidus Canal. Nice job making lurkers back home. herO playing this really fantastically well. That timing was really tight for him. So good attempt trying to take down the third base. Didn't quite work out for sSak. He's getting to third base of his own. There is Zerg scouting information at both of the places the third base could come from here. Bit of an engagement here. We got lurkers, we got lings, we got mutalisks, and everybody is going to die. You're not getting home. Yeah, so your attempt to kill the third base of herO did cost you your entire force. That's just sent up that way, and suddenly it is 66 to 72 supply in favor of the Terran, but not as much as you'd want it to be, and suddenly herO feels safe to throw down a fourth base, even before the third base is coming up here from sSak. Nidus Canals just make me laugh. They're like, "Lar!" They look like opera singers, is what they do. Working on infantry weapons, Titan reactor here, additional macro hatches coming up all over the place, I feel like. Is that what that is? That's an evolution chamber. Why am I seeing multiple hatcheries? There's one. So there's that. And where's the other macro hatch? This is another thing of Falcon being super blind. I don't know where he's making two hatcheries, guys, and I'm sure you're the... Oh, here it is. Right here, next to this other macro hatchery that was blinding me. Alright, cool. Pushing in again. Marines got a fire bat in the mix. Got some lurkers here. We can irradiate all three of those with the 3 science vessels that are present. Just takes some time for them to die and does alert herO to the fact there's an army here. And he should be able to respond as additional lurkers do lurk on up, looking very sinister. As the lurkers explode out of the ground there. Defiler is present, man. Plague coming on in. I have to assume Consume is done. Nicely done. On catching that Defiler. Man, sSak playing this well. Dark Swarm goes up because the Defiler knows he's dead. Might as well use that energy on something. Dark Swarm, the best use of that energy for sure. As more lurkers exploding here. 110 to 82 supply. sSak looking pretty good, guys. Pretty good stuff. But no third base for you. Lings and Mutalisks say, you try to secure this. No, you have to send more units than that to secure a third base. But thank you for requesting access to this location. Pushing up more fire bats in the mix here, trundling around, wearing their white uniforms today because sSak chose white in this game. White versus orange is kind of fun, honestly. More irradiates on all the things. The science vessel count for sSak is kind of intimidating. If you're a Terran player, save the science vessels, though. Ah, the Marines could have come up and saved it, but they didn't. But they totally didn't instead. Very tragic. All right, so Marines holding the ramp versus a gajillion Zerglings. With some medics here, should be enough to hold without any other support. The Lings are all going to die. Yeah, that was rough. That was a rough Ling engagement. They're still coming in. herO, don't sacrifice Lings for nothing, man. That's how you win games of StarCraft, is not sacrificing Lings for nothing. Woo, nice Plague going down. It does kind of look like strawberry jam in the Carbot skin. Makes me laugh. Irradiate on the Defiler. Can you get up there in time? Yes, he does Plague a Science Vessel, which is nice, but he's dead too. The good news for herO, though, is that he's secured his 4th source of gas, and the Vespene gas is pouring in for him. Third base just now getting constructed for the Terran player. So sSak playing well, looking really good overall, but I just feel like the income for herO is amazing stuff right now. Oh, could he sneak on in? God, he's just irradiating so well today. This is flash level irradiating from sSak. Defiler again. Ooh, nice Plague, though. This is where you make a couple Mutalisks and come in here and just whack, 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 and all of these science vessels die because they all have 1 HP or 2. Yeah, man, they all got plagued. Oh, this is a nice potential situation here. Man, I'd bring some SCVs across the map and repair these. if I was sSak. But so few Terran players do that. They just wait for the mutas to come along and whap out their entire science vessel line. Which blows my mind, if we're honest. Are there any dropships coming over? What's the production tab say? No. It does not. It's Marines, and it's Fire Bats, and it's Medics, and it's Science Vessels. Oh, just kidding. There's a dropship right here. Oh, because there's a drop back here. All right, well. Drop back here doing some stuff. Taking the spawning pool down. Nice plague. Nice plague for sure. And Ling's getting on top of the plagued Marine. Just one chewing them. Chew, 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 chew. And that does get completely taken care of. More irradiates going down. I think more irradiates are going down. Yep. Alright, so drop takes down the spawning pool, which is annoying, but definitely not game ending. Some drones died there too. Science vessel count, dude, getting high. But the Scourge! One science vessel down. Oh, he had it. He's got it anyway. Yeah, sSak not doing the best job I've ever seen, actually keeping his science vessels alive. Is he repairing? Or are these just two new science vessels that weren't actually plagued earlier? Seems like that's probably the case. Yeah, this drop not doing super well. Too many Lings and too many Scourge ready as the drop ship explodes over that extractor. Third base. Done down here. Another command center coming up for sSak. And 136 to 102 supply. So 16 minutes in, the Terran player is up. But I'd say, well, without the science vessels here. I don't know. This is probably, I think this is where Flash would potentially think about transitioning into mech, although he doesn't always. He will beat Zerg players just by going for this bio with some Ultra support, and especially the science vessels. They are key to beating Zerg players. If you don't make science vessels with your Terran, figure it out. Work it into your build. Get irradiate real fast and start irradiating things like defilers and lurkers, and your Zerg opponents will be sad. Just irradiate as much as you can on the big ticket items like these. And they will explode out of the ground so satisfactorily. Look at this. Look how satisfying this is. Never mind. There's a drop we should pay attention to. Getting in here in the natural base. You know, with these lurkers gone, that's interesting stuff. Shutting down all the mining at the natural and dropping in the main, too. You have enough for Dark Swarm up there as well, Mr. Defiler? I'm not convinced that you do, good friend. Scourge getting picked off so the dropship stays alive. That is some good control by sSak for sure. There's your Dark Swarm, though. So the Marine just get out of there. La, 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 la. Trying to take down an Evolution Chamber, which is going for additional upgrades. Bam, denied. Denied that further upgrade for the Zerglings, which are sitting at +1. +2 is stopped. But enough Lings come in, and once again, once you're plagued, Zerglings can handle this. When you're not plagued, much harder for them to do. sSak still pushing this fourth base. He hasn't really been able to get in here all that much. He got a decent drop-off earlier, but that was problematic. Vulture's going for the run-by, just going right after drones and getting murdered there. Nice Dark Swarm, though. And nice Plague, too. The Dark Swarm into the Plague combo is really nice for herO. APM for this dude, 284. Oh, Spore Colony getting shots. Science vessels going down, but irradiating defilers. 2, 1, last something. Nope. Does not get a spell down at all, as it turns out. 157 and 122 supply. These two players fighting hard. Ling's trying to cruise into a Widowmine field. Maybe drag Widowmines into the Terran army. Doesn't really work out all that well for them. I think they all just died without really getting any Terran casualties at all. Fourth base going to land over here. Is there something in your way, guy? Not that I can see. Might as well land your fourth. Map control, I'd say at this point, does belong to herO, but eventually we're going to see some Ultras. I kind of feel like that's what we're going for. Oh, another good Plague. herO plaguing it up today. Honestly, some of the games that I cast, I do not see Plague used all that much from the Zerg players. I just feel like it's such an integral, such an important spell to use, especially against a bio-heavy Terran like sSak has chosen to be today. Going for additional melee attacks, restarting that +2, which is annoying. Honestly, upgrades for Lings are great because they attack so fast. Anything that has a fast attack speed, upgrades are fantastic. Lings, Marines, for example. Are we going to go for the Boxer Eraser here? I don't know, man, because blot. Yeah, all your science vessels belong to us. Okay, did he just defensive matrix a drone? He certainly did. That's really funny. Dropping in the main, going after the Ultralisk den would be pretty interesting. Lings rolling in, and I think there are enough Lings to actually handle this. They've got Adrenal Glands and +2 armor, which is nice. Attacking onto the fourth base at the same time is sSak. Nope. Too many lurkers, too much Dark Swarm. Let's get out of there. Ling sacrificing themselves, but that's okay. Man, herO holding against multiple attacks here. However, 4 bases are done for sSak, and there's really no sign of a 5th base from herO here today. This is a good TVZ. I'm really enjoying this from both of these players. Overlord scouts the 4th and says, oh, that's a... Actually, he doesn't scout it at all. He just lurker drops the crap out of it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I am talking about is the lurker drops. herO getting on the offensive. After being dropped a whole bunch of times, it's time for him to be dropped. Spore Colony does die to the Marines. Just kidding. It's so close to death, but the Marines decide not to finish off, instead heading on back home because they have jelly on their visors and can't see anything. As the poor medic tries to use enough love to get through here, but Firebats? Nuh-uh. No Yulings. Yulings are directly countered by Firebats, especially if the Firebats have 3-3 and stim and medic support and whatnot. These lurkers are just refusing to die. Why can't I click on that? There we go. 4 kills, just the one. Did the other one get irradiated? Probably at this stage. Man, 164 to 169 supply. This is a tight ZVT. Lurker goes down. Workers should go back to work. I'm not sure how many are remaining over here after the massacre attempt. More drop attempts. I mean, sSak is not put off by the fact that there are Scourge everywhere on the map, or there have been at various points in this game. Lurker's trying to come on in. Nice Dark Swarm coming up. That tank has 3 HP and is almost dead. Dropping inside the 4th base and dropping the 3rd base at the same time. I kind of really enjoy. You might take care of the 4th base, but the 3rd base is getting dropped. This is really annoying stuff right now. Ultras are out, though. Ultras are out, and Marines don't do very well against Ultralisks, as it turns out, unless it's like a 1-to-5 scenario, as we're seeing here, actually. There is a total of 6 armor on these dudes, though, and there are a lot of Ultras remaining. Working on additional Marines, working on additional science vessels here. Oh, this is not good. Again, the saving grace here for sSak is that it's a 4-basing Zerg versus a 4-basing Terran, although guess who's here? More lurker drops. Shutting down the 4th base again. Just A-moving with Dark Swarm into the natural base of sSak. Dude, you gotta be covered by something, guys. Get into the Dark Swarm. There you go. Yeah, the Dark Swarm was nice getting here, but where you really wanted it was on top of this engagement, herO. It's okay. This game is hard. This is really hard to do. Irradiating the Defiler, irradiating an Ultralisk. These are the priorities here. Big ticket items, man. Another nice Dark Swarm up. The Defiler can't get any more up here. Scourge taking down the Science Vessels as they cruise on in. Ultralisk hanging out under Dark Swarm, staying alive. 2 Ultras trundling happily down to the 3rd base to try to wipe that one out. Can they get there? Yes, they're going after SCVs. There's nothing to stop this at all from happening. This Ultralisk so happily just sitting in the Dark Swarm. Tank Fire Splash says, nope, that's not going to happen. And Ultralisks chewing up SCVs like they are candy. Are there enough? I guess there are enough Marines coming in eventually to take these guys down. Once one is down, one is a little bit easier to handle. Nice Dark Swarm. Lings on top of Marines outside the 4th of herO, shutting that down very nicely, too. That Ultralisk finally falls at the 3rd of the Terran player. The 4th base of the Terran player looks like it's in trouble as there are Lings heading to the south to try to shut that sucker down even further. SCVs are going to die, and this is not looking good for sSak. Suddenly it's 166 to 136 supply. Zerg player up. Still, only on 4 bases, and really, as far as I can tell, not super interested in going for a 5th, which at the 23-minute mark seems a little odd. But man, if you're going to deal with Ultras, you almost need a ton of tanks. That's how we've seen Flash handle it in the past. 4th base, dead to Zerglings at this stage. They have the 3-3 yet. They have 3-2, which is good. Irradiate on the Ultras just accelerates their dying process, which is beautiful stuff here. These are 3 pretty injured Ultras, and unsupported by anything else, they need to get out of there, and they do. Again, no 4th base from sSak is a major problem, though. And it looks like herO is just throwing Lings and Ultras at the Terran player over and over in an attempt to wipe them out. And so far, not quite able to do it to the extent where he wins the game, but shutting down the 4th base was really important stuff. Trying to get into the 3rd base might be a little more difficult, as sSak is ready for this one. And Ultras do die, but the natural base not as well defended against. 3 Defilers are here. Oh my gosh, 3 Defilers are here. More Dark Swarm coming up because why not? We have 3 Defilers. We're going to get right up your ramp. How's that sound? Scourge getting some hits on these Science Vessels. Some of them are still alive. Continuing to throw down Irradiates. Natural base economy is being destroyed. 3rd base totally saved by the Marines that are holding position up there. Firebat's getting on top of some of these Defilers. Oh, they were until they pulled back. This Ultralisk, 3 kills, 1 kill on that Ultra. Link's trying to get up. Nice Plague there, and good game out of sSak. sSak taps out, and herO is your winner in 24 minutes and 58 seconds. Yeah, just not enough of an answer there for the Ultralisks. Again, what I've seen work in this situation where the Zerg player is able to get up to Ultraling Defiler is tanks. It's just been Flash has been able to sniff out that the Terran or Zerg player is going for those Ultras, starts producing tanks a whole bunch at a time. And just from distance, you can really rock those Ultras with a good number of them. Dark Swarm can only do so much. Tanks are still going to do damage to the Ultras as they come down. You can't Dark Swarm the entire path, and that's something that I've seen Flash do. So, again, with Marines, you can kind of do it. You can kind of hold this, but if the Dark Swarm is good enough, and hero's Dark Swarm definitely was good enough, not perfect, but good enough, then you can just do this to bases. It is Dark Swarm, Ling Ultra, everything dies style. Even if there's a Radiate going down, even if the number of Science Vessels up is fairly healthy with 7 here, you just don't have enough. You don't have enough damage output to really win you the game. I mean, this ramp getting held was very nice from sSak, but unable to adequately defend the 4th base was a big problem for him. If he'd been able to hold the 4th, set some tanks up in defense of, well, maybe the natural 3rd base seems fine. Just hold that ramp and you're good. And be on 4 bases and keep herO to 4 bases. I really liked his chances. Kind of like the sSak guy. I should cast more of him, I think. I'll add him to my list of players I want to focus on. But yeah, today herO gets the win. Zerg player does it well with the strategy that is, well, it's a tale as old as time. It's a song as old as rhyme. It is. Ultralisks, Lings, and Dark Swarm. All right, good stuff. Good stuff here today. Let's go ahead and check out that final score. Hit that like button, by the way, if you like what you saw. Somebody asked the question here today on one of my fastest map ever replay from a while ago. How does this have 16,000 views and only 300 thumbs up? I don't know, man. People don't like doing thumbs up, I suppose. I try to do it on videos that I watch, but understand that it's not really a priority for a lot of people. I get it. So 173,000 points for herO, 145,000 for sSak. Units produced 703 from herO, which is a by golly big number. Only 377 of those were killed eventually by sSak, which is just not a good ratio at all. And then resources here, 4 bases up real fast for herO, and sure, sSak got 4 eventually, but wasn't on his 3rd until later. 4th base never really got up and running for any length of time. And this is going to win you games. As long as you have Dark Swarm, I still feel like if herO was just throwing Lings and Ultras at sSak and didn't have Dark Swarm support, I think sSak could have held. Dark Swarm is really what it is that makes this strategy work. So if you're a Brood War player and you play Zerg and you're like, I can't win. I get up to Ling Ultra and I just can't beat Terran. Well, you know what it is. It's because you don't have Dark Swarm. Learn those spellcasters. I know it takes micro. I know it's hard. But that's how you get to this level. That's how you get to this level of Starcraft Brood War, is you master control of spellcasters. Science Vessels, Ghosts, High Templar. Those are the things you need to get good with. Those are the things we see in the highest levels of Brood War, and those are the things that get games won. Motivational speech over. All right, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.